Welcome. Right, a bit of an impromptu stream here. I wanted to try and get Scarab 100 done tonight, and I thought, well, maybe I should do it as a video, and then I decided I can't really be bothered, so I'll just do it as a stream instead. It's a little bit less effort required. Bit lazy on my part, but I'm sure you'll forgive me. So actually running the masteries right now, nearly finished them. I think I have 630 on Gnut and 527 on Seeker. So we'll just run a few more goes. I've got enough to do T6 on Gnut, which is more than required, I think, to do today's plan. So the first thing we're going to do is jump over to the old stages tool and figure out what kind of speeds we're going to need. So that's where we're going to start. And my intention overall will be to try and build this in as silver efficient as possible. So we're going to go for absolute bare minimum number of rebuilds required. 225 speed, that is our target, and 350-ish accuracy is going to be what we're going to need. So at least we have that in mind. We can then jump over to the optimizer. So whilst we're doing the farming of the masteries, we can jump in at our Gnut right here. Can think what initially I'm just going to do it with 0 masteries set. Go for survival mode. So let's just give it a quick go first. I will add deadly precision and keen strike, but beyond that, I'm not sure whether I'm going to go defense tree or support tree, and there's nothing else that's going to affect how we build our champions. We know we need 225 speed. We know we need 350 accuracy. Realistically, we're going to want 100% crit rate as well. But I just want to quickly run it like this and just see what happens. See if we're able to get some decent numbers and reach the stats required. And it looks like we're going to be in a decent position to do so. I'm not worried about what gear pieces we use currently. I'm not worried about getting a set going. I just want to be able to beat Scarab. So it's not that important at this stage. So our next step would be, well, can we do the same thing but with 100% crit rate? At least try and get some good damage out of the old A3, the max HP, and then we'll see if we can increase the crit damage level as well a little bit if we're still getting good builds. It does look like our effective HP is taking a bit of a beating if we try and get the 100% crit rate going, and you can see we're struggling a little on the crit damage, but I think we're still going to get a build that's going to be viable in this setup. We don't need massive effective HP because obviously we're going for a TM control strategy against Scarab. I think we'll be in a position where we can run this one more time, but with a little bit more on the crit damage side. So let's give that a go and see what the proposed build is. Like I said, it doesn't really matter if we actually go for crit rate or not, because against Scarab, all we want is the TM to be controlled. We might not even use the A3 initially. I have a coldheart in a destroy build. You can see it didn't like the idea of getting that crit damage. That was a step too far. So let's just see what it comes up with if we just leave it at that. Actually, I changed my mind. Let's try 100 in the crit damage. See if that gives us anything. Whilst that's running, we'll click back in, see how we're doing. In this minnow, we need, 12 more scrolls on Seeker, and then Seeker will be in a position to get tier 6 as well, which will mean we'll be in a position to eventually redo our clan boss team for a potential 1 key team on the old challenge account, which will be a nice little milestone. Doesn't really change anything, to be honest, because we'll still get roughly the same amount of total rewards. So being able to finish Hard Doom Tower is going to be a bigger boon for the account than getting a 1 key team. We'll see. We'll see. Right, what our next step? We'll circle back to this as it's nearly finished running some builds, and we'll just see quickly what it's thinking. I mean, that kind of makes sense, to be honest. I'd say some of these pieces are likely to be used in any case. I think the boots will probably be on him long term anyway. Shield and weapon are also pretty strong. Priest doesn't really matter to lose. Helm. I quite like that build. I think that's reasonable. Defense level is pretty poor. So maybe this one's a bit better. What have we got here? Yeah. Yeah, that probably makes more sense. Excluding this accuracy banner. I think we can probably just do some manual tweaks. It's given us some ideas between this build and this build. There are some pieces that make sense. I think using this chest definitely makes sense. So we'll probably go for a perception set, a speed set. We can even go back here. Once you start to get an idea of what you want, you can end up kind of creating a little bit of more specificity. You know you pretty much want a speed and a perception set to be used. Might as well try and direct the optimizer to do what you want it to do. And once that is finished, we'll flip back over to it. I think this should be the last run we'll need to do. And then we can get across and build the rest of the team. So it's going to be Gnut. We know we're going to use Miscreated. We know we're going to use Farrakin, Coldheart, and probably the 5th will be Armiger, I think. Even though Armiger's only a 5-star, I think we might struggle a bit with the accuracy on Armiger. That's kind of the potential pitfall on this. Is 350 accuracy is actually quite a decent number. And it's a little bit annoying that Gnut's aura is dungeons only, rather than, say, a little bit less accuracy, but all battles. That would have been preferable. Anyway, how's everyone going this evening? Day 2 of CVC. I've actually got a potential video that I maybe will get out tomorrow or over the weekend, where I'm kind of charting my CVC. So I did a short, like 10 minutes yesterday when I got back from work, so kind of the start of CVC. Then I did another little 10-minute update today, so showing how I'm getting all the points that I'm getting and what I'm doing and what I'm focusing on. And then I'll do another little 10 minutes once CVC is finished to show how it went. So overall we'll have a little, free to play challenge account CVC experience video where I can kind of talk through my thought process on when I'm doing each thing, why I'm doing it at that point. Hopefully it'll be reasonably interesting to see. Alright, we've got a few more ideas, and this pretty much has blended the best parts of the various builds. I still wonder why it keeps picking that slightly worse accuracy banner here rather than using the 5-star. But we can have a little look. Actually, another little thing we should probably do is say that we would use some glyphs. We can do 2 speed. We don't have much glyphs, so we won't pretend that we're going to put a lot of glyphs in. if we go for that. That looks reasonable. In fact, I think we could probably try and mode. See if it gives us anything more exciting. Whilst that is running, we'll jump back again to the old Minotaur. We still need one more scroll on this Seeker. I haven't actually pulled a single prism shard yet. I probably will pull the 2 prism shard, well, the 2 pulls that I've earned on the main account before CVC ends. Come on, I just want that one scroll on Seeker. But I can probably do it later. I'll after this run we'll go and try and get the stuff done. And then on this account I haven't done, on the challenge account I haven't done the spider yet, so I'm going to be doing spider overnight, and then I'll probably pull the 2 pulls on the challenge account before CVC ends. I might not do it on the main, depends if I need the points or not, for the simple fact that I have a suspicion, I don't know why, but I'm always dubious, as like obviously they give you the window is a week and everyone's going to pull everything as soon as they get it, but maybe they'll give us something at the weekend that will make more sense for us to pull them then than for probably a very small number of CVC points, unless you're extremely lucky and you get a legendary. So I don't know, like maybe will we end up with a champion chase? Will we end up with like a hero path? I don't know. Will prism shards count towards summon rush? Who knows? But yeah, I might hold off summoning if I don't need to until we get a full idea as to what these prism events hold, whether there's a reason to do it at the beginning of the event or towards the end. But we'll see. Right, if we now go back to the optimizer, interesting enough, solving for damage has actually really reduced the amount of defense required and increased crit damage, which kind of makes sense if you think about it, because of we were solving for the A3, but I really don't like that as a build. So let's go one more time to go to the configure, not that one, where's it? Start A3, go, yeah, we'll just go highest overall instead. I did put the 5% crit mastery in the optimizer. I did the 5% crit and the 10% crit damage. Those are the only 2 masteries I set in the optimizer. Again, whilst that is running, let's jump back out here and have a little look through what our options are. So we know we're going to be using Farrakhan. He doesn't have enough accuracy, but I don't think that's going to be an issue. His speed is fine. We pretty much gonna have to use Haikatoon. I think the speed is fine. The accuracy is atrocious, however, so that might be a problem. We might need to resolve this accuracy, but let's circle back. Coldheart, we're gonna need to sort out this accuracy, and the speed is pretty bad. Oh, this might be where it falls down. Destroy gear is a challenge. Let's clear these red dots quickly. No, that's all fine. We don't need to be doing anything like that. And then obviously we know we're going to build Gnut now. And then Armiger, again, I think as a 5-star we're not going to get to the accuracy. So if we don't use... Yeah, if we don't use Armiger, that's going to be another problem as well, is what do we use? It might be that we're not going to get this done today, and we might have to 6-star Armiger during the champion training that starts tomorrow. But let's see, we'll give it a go anyway. We could probably throw in Stag Knight, although we don't get TM control. We do get the decreased speed, and at least Stag has enough accuracy. Miscreated, we don't need accuracy. Speed is reasonable, acceptable anyway. But yeah, I think that's our main issue, is that we need 6 stars for this. Anyway, we'll give it a go. We'll do our best. That's the build it's proposed. I don't actually like it as much as the other ones, but I know roughly what I wanted to do, so we can go back here and we'll give it a quick go. So there was definitely a speed chest we liked the look of. I hate the fact they've moved the primary stats lower. Like, this is definitely the one we want. We want a crit rate, speed, and we don't want the defense percent. I was wondering why it's suddenly giving us loads of options. I'm pretty sure we had some nice 6-star options. So it's either these, which are quite nice, or these, which are also quite nice. I'd say let's invest the silver. And we got defense percent. We got a little bit of CVC points. This one's got a lot more speed, but we will complete a perception set on that one. We'll keep the perception for the time being. Definitely want to use the boots in perception that have crit rate, crit damage. That makes sense. Accuracy banner. Oh, no speed on. Fortunately, I think we'll go with this one for the time being. That also makes sense. I am building him exclusively right now to try and beat Scarab. That is the most important thing. Beyond that, I don't know where I'm going to use him. Obviously, finite hard. Probably pretty much every dungeon team that I have. But yeah, an initial build we'll do now, and then we'll figure out other builds thereafter. Right, here, what do we need? We obviously want speed. We need a little bit more crit rate. There are a couple of items that looked really nice. So with this shield, which definitely looked good. And there was that helmet. We still need 5% here coming from the mastery, so that's fine. Probably say, what do we have in a speed helmet? Do we have anything usable? Preferably with accuracy. Roll that to 12. Maybe a roll accuracy. It didn't. Perception pieces as well. I mean, this isn't for him, but let's just get some points. That's a really nice piece now for someone else. Don't need that. We kind of need some accuracy, don't we? That's looking decent. Still need a little bit more accuracy. We have substat accuracy. What options do we have? That could be nice if we get a treble roll on accuracy, which obviously we don't. So we'll just keep working our way through the options. Double roll accuracy. That is looking pretty good. I think that was the other one that it suggested. Let's see if we get the treble. And we do. Look at that. Glorious. And then we just need a ring. Include equipped. See if we double roll the defense percent. Got the single. And we got the double. Now HP percent as the third substat. Didn't happen, but I think this is still going to be the best ring. So HP percent as the fourth substat. Wait. I mean, there was only 50-50 chance, let's be honest. It could only be HP percent or flat HP at that point. I think this is looking reasonable. We tried the optimizer, it wasn't really doing what I wanted it to. So we end up building manually instead, and I will just set those two masteries for the time being. Now the question is, can we clear Scarab being hard carried by Gnut? I'm not sure. Right, so the other thing we need to do now is I'll actually lock him and do live refresh. Second to update is this coldheart. Yeah, coldheart's a problem. Let's try. See, destroy, yes. Pick anything. I mean, this is where I'm worried. Can we get? I don't care about health. We'll start slow, but we'll see what we can do. Okay, we are actually solving stuff. That's positive. So let's go back here and jack up the speed. See if we can get it to the 225 to be faster than the boss. We can, in fact. Pretty weird build. Let's change it to damage build A3. Try and get a bit of Heartseeker damage going. This is what it reckons. What did I use for nether spider? Well, if we go over here, I used this team, my 5-star Sanguinea at level 38 now. I think when I actually beat nether spider, she was level 25, bringing a full team cleanse. Not enough accuracy to actually put the poisons back on the main spider, but then we have a single cleanse here, a reduced duration of debuffs here, a single cleanse that doesn't get used because it's an AoE hit from Brobny, but you know, you got the shield, you've got continuing the shield here, so you get a bit of healing there. Another shield champion here to try and mitigate damage, plus a continuous heal here, continuous heal here, healing every turn. Just stacking up all the healing, and then a bit of brimstone plus HP burn from Brobny. You can see it was not fast. Far from it. Oh man, I was on the wrong page. I was showing it and I hadn't clicked. I hadn't clicked back off the optimizer. So yeah, Sanguinea here in lead with Brogny, Demitha, Doompriest, and Delaja. So continuous heal plus continuous heal, healing every turn. Another continuous heal coming from Sanguinea, and shield, and extend buffs. So like a lot of healing, but it was a slow run. The damage was all really Brogny, HP burn, plus brimstone. A little bit of poisoning from Delaja's A1, but yeah, very slow run. Right then, we have coldheart to go and rebuild. So the ideas that it has, it reckons we want to use not that one, that one. Let's try it. It reckons on the shield side we want this. Interesting. It reckons we want that for the glove. We'll see. We'll see. Surprised it thinks that's better. I guess it's the speed that is required. Then we keep our boots. We pick up a chest from crit damage. That one. We need the accuracy. We steal a immortal hiding helmet from you. Then we should have accuracy banner. I don't know why it wants to use this though. Seems weird. Oh yeah, because of the accuracy. Do we not have any other accuracy banner? We don't. Do we hope we get speed? Oh, we didn't. And we wasted 2 million. But it won't be a waste if we end up beating this, will it? And then I think the rest is probably fine. We haven't got enough crit rate. Oh, we need to do the gear here. That's 16U. Hoping for an accuracy sub. Didn't get it. 16U. Didn't know what I was hoping for, but didn't get anything good either. 70% crit rate. Currently 312 accuracy, which really isn't enough. That's really not enough. Let's try rerun the optimizer. I feel like I might have made some mistakes here, but not too many. It thou thinks I should in fact be using these ones. Interesting. We'll see. How do you decide what epics are going to be chickens? The epics that aren't worth building are the ones that are going to be chickens. It's it's kind of as simple as that. Right. What am I missing? I think I just need to glyph everything. Pretty sure I'm using exactly what it has here. That is a 350. This is 350 accuracy, 70% crit rate, 225 speed. Squishy as, but like hitting all the key parts. That is fine. Glyph that. And glyph that. Ah, that's the difference. We need to swap you for something with accuracy. And the one it reckons is a double roll here, which, let's be honest, is pretty much going to be as good as it gets. I will just very quickly toss a few accuracy glyphs just to make sure we're comfortably above the threshold. You put everyone in destroy set when going against scarab? No, I put one person in a destroy set because I won't have enough destroy gear to efficiently do more than one person, to be honest. Yeah, a little bit more there. And lastly, this one as well. Bit slow, so I think we're also going to have to use some speed glyphs. Obviously it rolls 1. That's how speed glyphs work. Minimum rolls, there you go, another minimum roll. we'll circle back, essentially. I'm going to put one glyph on each of them. And then we'll circle back. And the better pieces, we'll try and add an extra glyph on. And hope we get more than a 1 or a 2. Hey, that's better. A nice 4. That's 221. We're still a bit slow. Ideally, I want to be 225. Come on. 3. That's just about doable. We'll go with that. Right. Who did we say we were going to do as the 5th? Given that I really don't think we're going to get Armiger in. But let's try anyway. So, live refresh. Let's get Coldheart into the gear that we're using. Go back here. I would be absolutely astonished if this is even possible. Go balanced mode, 100% crit, even at 200 speed. Can we solve it? What we want, just increase speed, yeah. Any speed. Can we get the accuracy and the crit rate? Apparently we can. Apparently we can do it. I'm surprised. We can actually hit the crit rate required and the accuracy as a 5-star. Should we try it without rebuilding Armiger first? Using Stag Knight in place? I think we should. I don't think it's going to work without further rebuilds. But, as I say, if you can get away with not rebuilding, then 100% you should. So I do have a scarab here. And essentially, getting rid of Armiger in this particular team. We're using Gnut instead. Gnut. Let's make sure these make sense. Let's turn you to use once. Phase 2. Get you to use once in phase 2. Always use lightning storm. That's fine, that's fine. We use you once. Yep, that's good. That looks good. And then Gnut, what I'm actually going to do initially is let's turn off the A1, the A2 and the A3. And we'll just see if we can get this to work. We might have to kind of semi-auto it, to be honest. It's quite a horrible set of champions here. We'll take that off for a second. Look at that damage we take back from these war chiefs. Horrific. And I don't think we have any way of healing. That might be a problem. Yeah, a little bit of HP burns there. At least heal miscreated. Hopefully people will be able to heal themselves before the second wave. But yeah, the inclusion of War Chief is just such a pain. And we just take down this Harvest Jack. UCA 2. Like a tune, we might need to boost her accuracy because we really do need the decreased speed from her. I think that might be a problem. Just use A1s here. I'm going to use Miscreated to try and kill the War Chief. Keep everyone else with at least some health. And then it should effectively be full auto at this point. Although we didn't have the A3, it shouldn't matter because it should come in pretty soon. That will get us the turn meter down nicely from Gnut, keeping that turn meter down. His A3 is going to be irrelevant until we are able to get this down. Yeah. Yeah, no, we're not able to keep the turn meter down without the decreased speed, which we thought might be a problem. So our first port of call is Haikatoon. And I think we can probably just do it manually. We'll just give her an accuracy chest. Let's just jump back into the game. We can sort by recently used. Old Haikatoon. Add an accuracy chest. I mean, that's a fairly silver efficient solution, isn't it? Done. 50,000 silver. Let's see if we can get it done now. Go to the old team setup again. Go for a second. Right, we need somehow to kill these without doing too much damage to ourselves. Let's start like that. Everyone does a bit of damage. Kill these harvest jacks quickly as well. Well, we hit the accuracy threshold without equipping an amulet, so I gave up at that point. As soon as we hit the accuracy, I just left it. But yeah, if we see too many resists, maybe we'll just go back and give her an amulet. At least we are through turn meter. Sorry, we're through wave 2. Right, and kill these harvest jacks again. Get a little bit of TM drop. Down. Loving that turn meter control right there. That's what we need against that boss. We need that decreased speed. I think we might have to manual it initially. See if we can choose when to use Farrakhan's A3 for maximum gains. So first we increase our speed, get that out. I will hold that back, just A1 with Gnut, then hit the A3 there. Probably should have tried to A1 and get the decreased speed out actually. But here we'll go in, beat down. We got the decreased speed. Now here the TM control is so low, I think we can go for the A3. 1. And I think we should be okay to click auto here. And as long as we get good rotation, I think we have Heartseeker next. Right here, which should drop it nicely, and then this is going to follow up here with a beatdown. And here, Gnut, we can go in and use the A3 again. That seems like quite a nice little rotation. We might be able to get it done. As long as we can be lucky with the oh, we're gonna no, we just didn't. Oh, that's annoying. I feel like there needs to be a bit more of a gap between Farrakhan on the A3 and Coldheart. on the A3. I think if we didn't have them successive turns and we had a gap in between, that would even out the TM drop that a little bit more. So I think we're gonna get it done without any more rebuilds. But yeah, it has to be managed carefully. Are my champs booked? Yeah, all of these champions are booked. Not every champion I use is booked, but not every champion, but like every champion here is booked. We might have to go through and just double check the accuracy on Gnut as well. I can probably glyph some bits. That might be what we'll end up doing. Okay, two. Go there. Get a freeze off there. I shouldn't have done that, but I did. We don't need any life. The speed ranges in this team is currently Haikatoon's at 235 fastest, and Coldheart I think is 225 slowest, or 221 or something like that. Right, increase speed. Lightning Storm. A1. 1. Heartseeker. Then we'll try an A1. We didn't get it. Decrease speed. Then I was going to say we're not going to use the A3. We'll come in with an A1. Now we'll try auto. Decrease attack won't help. This boss, if it ever takes a turn, we're done. Like there's no coming back. We have to kill this boss without never taking a turn, essentially. So a few things. One, I don't have Vergis, so that's why I haven't built a Vergis. Instead, it's probably or it's almost certainly an easier approach to do. If you can build a solo champion, it's just, your life is just easier. I did solo Teodor for Scarab 50, but I can't reach the stats to do Scarab 100. I'm pretty close, but just not quite. Just not quite there. I do have an Apothecary. Apothecary is level 40. I don't want to invest in Apothecary unnecessarily. Don't need Apothecary necessarily for faction wars. Don't really need Apothecary for any secret rooms. So, and I've kind of got Apothecary so late in the day on the account that it wouldn't necessarily be worth doing. Yeah, basically, turn meter does work well against this boss if you can stack enough of it. That is always really the key. Gnut here in Destroy would probably be optimum, but I don't think I can reach the stats that I want for it to necessarily be worth it. I was struggling to get Coldheart, who only needs 70% crit rate, to kind of hit the stats that I want. And I'm happier with Gnut's build overall. I think I can try him in that build in like a number of areas. Did I even set the 2 offensive masteries on him? I think I did, but I can't remember. But anyway, it looks like it's working. It looks like we're going to get it done. Having that gap between Farrakhan's ally attack and the Heartseeker, so they're every other turn each of them. So we go basically Heartseeker, nothing, ally attack, nothing, Heartseeker, nothing, ally attack. So we've got that consistent gap in between, and then Gnut is just doing constant A1s. I think one of the things with Gnut is I didn't do the glyphing that I had intended when I did the build calculation. I think we needed to do a bit of glyphing on him. But I've not noticed that many resists on him. I've noticed resists on Farrakhan, who we know we don't have enough accuracy on. We don't have enough accuracy on miscreated either. But yeah, it's kind of working anyway. So next time we have the ally attack from Farrakhan, I'm gonna interject and use the A3 from Gnut. Get some nice damage in. Hopefully that didn't cost us the run. That bit of greed. I think it'll be fine. I think the key bit between us getting it done or not was getting that accuracy on High Cartoon, getting that decreased speed, and also spreading out the ally attack versus the Heartseeker. So you can see now, like we're pretty comfortable. Like, and then after the ally attack, like I said last time, I can come in, use the A3. You could actually set that pretty much on auto. I think I could set the AI to make this work potentially on auto as a farm. Here we go. And I used the absolute minimal amount of silver that I could get away with. That's kind of how I do it. It's incremental building. Changing one bit at a time. Not just doing everything. What I will quickly show is... Where is it? In Champions. So, yeah, I tried with Theodore. I got enough speed. I got nearly enough resistance. I was using Drexar as a lead. Nearly enough accuracy. But I just... This effective HP was just not enough. So, it wasn't to be. But this team worked a treat. We're not going to stream for that much longer. But what we will do now is we've got 9 golden keys. Let's see what we could actually get done in terms of getting through any of this. So this has been my general... I've got 3 wave teams. Typically these are the 2 that I use. This one's kind of like the normal wave team. And this is the full control wave team. So I'll start it off on auto and then I interject as required. Let's get a click on you. We now need to click on you. We should get the, there we go, the provokes coming in. So we've got the freezes from Creator and the provokes here. What are the requirements for Sand Devil and Eerie Duo? Is it possible to use them partially good? Do you mean Dreng? I don't actually have Dreng, so I've never actually used him in that. There we go to Baron, freeze him. Before I got Horus, this boss was so sweaty to keep the turn meter down. It really was, because Allure was weak affinity, and there were less kind of alternatives to Allure. Whereas now, the Gnut Meister is like so strong for Scarab, and I think it's gonna be so strong for Dark Fae as well. And one that I think where Gnut's actually going to be really interesting, and I don't think anyone's talked about him on it, and it's purely about how the A1 is actually coded, because we know with Fire Knight, obviously turn meter can't be dropped, so it defaults to a freeze. We know if an enemy has turn meter at 0, so turn meter can't be dropped, it will try and put the freeze out. So my question is, Bommel. Bommel can't be turn meter controlled, but if you try and decrease his turn meter, you trigger an extra bomb. Is Gnut going to trigger the bomb, or is he going to try and freeze Bommel? Because Bommel can't be... damn, we used the provoke, we didn't need to. I made a mistake, because I clicked auto whilst I was trying to talk. That might have cost us the wave. Try and get the decrease attack off, but this is a problem, massive problem now. Day 1, yeah, like I said, that's entirely my fault. That's why you don't auto. Cycle back, yeah, freezes off. We can't. We're still okay though. Get the freeze there, and then get the provokes from Scaramus. Right. Oh, so Bomble can technically be turn meter controlled. Nah, that's not going to work then. The other one I was thinking about is Griffin, because can Griffin actually have the turn meter dropped? I don't think he can. I think he just, if you try and drop his turn meter, he messes you up. And this is what dude power waves are like. If any of these ever take a turn, we're dead. So, yeah, pretty much. Like, look at that damage. That's ridiculous. Alright, let's get the provoke off. And this is why I want, why I think I'm gonna need Syl. There we dead again. It went so well the first time. So the freeze will definitely work against the Bomble's minions. It's whether you can use the rotation in such a way that you never end up using the A1 on Bommel, which will remain to be seen. But I think it could be interesting. I also think there's a possibility it could be interesting against Griffin. Again, it just depends how it works. The thing with Griffin is I seem to feel like that you can't actually drop his turn meter, that he just does it back to you. Okay, fair enough. So the thing is, what am I talking about? Well, because I never use turn meter control against either of the bosses, because it's not the way you're meant to beat them. I can't actually remember how they're written in the game in terms of why you don't use turn meter control. But anyway, it was an idea. It's not going to work, so that's something. This is going to be a pain. I think we're going to have to look at doing this a different way. We probably going to need a revive, and we're probably going to need another form of control. Probably we'll try the husk. Right. Another go. Oh, we don't have, without Razelvarg, I don't think we have enough accuracy. Yeah. Yeah, we don't. Yeah, I don't think this is going to work either. Got a couple of stuns out. Let's try and get the freeze. Weak hits galore. Don't have enough accuracy. That's kind of the main issue. Try and get the freezes off again. Yeah, I think this is going to be... It's going to require me to really sit down and work on doing this in a very slow, methodical way. And try a lot of different teams to get it done. But we'll try. We'll finish. Yeah, we'll finish trying this run anyway. But then it's getting to the time of day where I'm probably going to have to go and get the last bits of the dailies done and think about winding down for the evening. But yeah, evidently I was talking rubbish when it comes to Bommel and Griffin. I know Bommel can be turn meter controlled because I use Geomancer. Anyway. But yeah, Griffin, I couldn't remember if the mechanic worked such that you didn't reduce Griffin's turn meter, but that he just reflected it back to you. So I was kind of hoping that maybe Gnut would work in such a way that you'd be able to to use him against some of those bosses where he would attempt to use the freeze instead, but maybe it's not going to work that well. Use Demitha, Tower, Helicath, Geo, and a block debuff team. So I actually, on my main, I use Helicath, Geo, Wither, Venomage, and Leoris as my nether team, and it can clear nether, whatever the top floor of nether is in any of the rotations. So I think one of them is nether 110, but on this rotation I think it's nether 90. It clears it in about 1 minute 10 or 1 minute 20, and it's about 95% consistent. Like that works well enough. Let's get this. Let's just get this killed. Alright, can we do this wave? That didn't manage to roll you. Oh, I didn't mean to use the A2, I meant to use the A1. Oh, oops. I'll tell you what, doing this where you need to actually think about what you're doing whilst trying to talk and trying to read chat, streaming's not easy. What fails that team when it fails on your main? I don't actually know. I never watch it. I just know sometimes after I run all the keys that there's a key left. Yeah, this is gonna have to. There you go. We're dead. So you can see what running the waves is going to be like. It's going to be brutal. It's going to be brutal. We need the Razelvarg. I actually don't think we need... I don't think we need Brogni. I think we need to control them better. Or we do this solution, which I've done before. I'll try one last time. One last time. And then I'm going to call it a night. Go for the freezes. Do that. Buff ourselves. Extend. And go for the A1. Get the freeze off on Baron. And we're looking here. Hoping for the timing to be slightly better. I'm going to hold off on the A3 until it looks like we're closer. Try and get the freeze there. Failed. Try and drop that. Come on, Demitha. No. Why didn't Demitha go? Oh, man. Yeah. I'll tell you what, let's try one last thing. Gnut to there instead. So we've got two different freeze champions with the A1. Still don't know if we want Brogni. We'll try anyway. Let's give this a go. Increase our accuracy and speed. Go for the freezes. That. Go for the weaken and decrease attack. Buff ourselves. Go for that. Try and get the freeze off on Baron. We fail. Go for A1 on Baron. Extend that. I don't think this is going to work either. No, we need two full crowd controllers. Although the decreased attack does help. Still not going to be enough. I think Syl would help. I think Syl, Gnut, Reardon, actually having enough accuracy. That would be a good start. Oh, anyway. We did what we wanted to do. We wanted to beat the Scarab King. We got that done. I need to go and do Demon Lord. I still need to do Faction Crypt. I'd left that for later, and then and then I forgot to do it, so I'll do that as well. Yeah, I'm just gonna need to crack on and get this stuff done. I'll start the clan boss team right now, and yeah, any last questions before we call it a night? Who would you say is your favorite champion? Oh man, who knows? There's so many of them. I really like Leoris. I really enjoy like using him in various teams, in wave clears, in Doom Tower. Like when I first got him, like it was a lot of fun to play with Leoris. Theodore was a lot of fun when I first got him. Um, who else like did I have a lot of fun building teams around? I think Gnut would be a lot of fun, but kind of I don't know. The game's been playing the game on many years now, so it's not quite as fresh as it once was. Early on, Nethril. Nethril really defined my original account and original experience a lot. So yeah, probably those three. Nethril, Leoris, and Theodore. Probably my three champions that I've had the most fun playing with. What champ did I build unconventionally? Loads. Like in my main, at one point I was using. At one point I had Madame Cerise in lifesteal as I was using her in Clan Boss. That is pretty unconventional. How long have I had Leo? Oh, I don't know anymore. A year and a bit. I don't do account takeovers because I just don't have time. Like I barely have time to play the two accounts I do, and I barely, I barely have time to like, make content as it is. I try and get out like a video or two, one or two a week, and do a stream every now and then. But yeah, that's pretty tough. Resist Aethel for the early Doom Tower bosses. That was fun as well. That was pretty good. On the challenge account, yeah, there's been quite a few resistance builds. Like I did resistance miscreated, resistance Aethel. I've done that quite a lot. I've leaned on that for a lot of content. But yeah, on the main account, I've done Lifesteal Stag Knight, Lifesteal Madame Cerise. I've done high dam. I was back when doing damage with Stag Knight wasn't a classic approach. I had damage dealing Stag Knight like really early on as well. Yeah, like a few random things like that. Do you think Drex could solo Frostbiter relying on the 20% heal he gets in the A1? Drex can definitely solo Frostbiter in lifesteal or in regen, but I don't think you'll be able to do it using just his A1 inbuilt heal. I don't think. Never tried. But my Drex on my main account was built in lifesteal. As for resistance early game, I never like built it in the Great Hall, but there are certain bosses, be it faction war bosses or Doom Tower bosses, that you can beat much more easily if you build resistance. Nether Spider being an example, Scarab's another. Yeah, a lot of these bosses, if you have resistance, it makes them much easier. On the faction wars, the boss that puts out poison and HP burn, that's really strong to build resistance against as well. But I think that is going to be it. Thanks everyone who watched the stream. You meant more gear builds. Yeah, like so I built resistance on specific champions to beat specific bosses. But outside of beating those bosses, I wasn't building resistance in general. It was just specifically to beat a couple of bosses. Yeah, like I said, Faction Wars and Doom Tower were the two main ones. where you can circumvent a lot of mechanics by building resistance. And early game, those bosses, you only need like 200 to 250 resistance, which is achievable with a resistance chest and a resistance banner. So you just got to have a bit of luck getting those pieces. Right, anyway, like I said, thanks again for watching. Please do like, comment, and subscribe, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye for now.